What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. What did I do to deserve this one? I'm just hanging out with me and the boys, and you all go after them in the buyout market. Rating the Kaiju towards $10. Also, $14 for the Doc's original version. This is getting just a bit ridiculous, and it's not much better on eBay. $10 before it's 12, and then there's just none of them at all. Now, Radiant has a lot of cool things going for him. He's level 7, so Pendulum decks can actually swing him out when there's nothing to Kaiju on the field across from them. There's a lure synergy since he's the only Dark Kaiju, and he's somewhat easier to get over than a lot of them at 2,800 attack. Super Dogoron also seeing a spike in price towards 850. Dinosaurs are doing really good this metagame. We just saw a regional top from them this past weekend, as well as many different versions that keep the common and rares very budget, so you can still get Dogoron for cheap, but if you're hollowing out your deck, he's somewhat expensive. I would make a suggestion right now to go for the Super Jizakiru, as that has the most synergy with Cyber Dragon decks, and that is seeing some play in this metagame. Shoutouts to my boy Blair Hunter. You can slurp it with Cyber Dragon, although they typically don't have that many problems dealing with boards, it feels like. Sleeper is the problem in this format, and if they can make an Apollosa before ever having to commit to Sleeper, Nibiru becomes useless against that board, and people are looking at Kaijus as the answer because spirals are just so freaking resilient. Gamma Seal would also be a pretty good card to have. You can get it super cheap out of the Dude reprint that is ultra rare, so it's a nice holo for you as well. Just have your Kaijus. Look at me. It goes pretty well for me, maybe for you guys. On the discussion with Nibiru, there's not the most on market, but if you can find Megatons right now, there's so much estimated value pulled to be able to hunt. I highly suggest you cracking those sealed between this and Dark Ruler No More. All of the dangers, you have a lot going for you if you're chasing that sealed, and you can also look for $15 deals at places like Walmart and Target that pop up here and there. The big buyout of the day that everyone's talking about, I find it completely ridiculous. Bingo Machine Go. Y'all all really getting ready for YCS Vegas out here, aren't you? Now, this is a legendary duelist ultra. These are getting very famous for their buyouts. I see this one crashing back down, though it's only regularly shorted. I hate to say that phrase, but there will be quantities falling back on market. You see this $100 new listing. I heard somebody actually sold a couple of at $120 freaking dollars. Stop wiling out. Stop panicking. This isn't going to be in the metagame anytime soon, and I know that casual doesn't mean broke, but look at this market price. I think it'll fall back out like Ancient Gear Fusion did, where it's not in the metagame, but you'll see it more towards 55 to 50 after this. Just don't jump on the hype train. Speaking of hype train, something is falling very fast. Fantastical Dragon Phantazmay is available for its secret rare towards $44 over here. We actually see first edition originals at $42 or best offer on eBay. Why are people panicking so bad? Oh, there were leaks yesterday, it seems, from Dual Overload that are being somewhat confirmed as possibly real. That's about as solid of news as you get. But when we look at Zodiac, there were actual pictures of the packs, and it's a lot harder to fake sealed packs than a card that could be a very well done Orica. So this gives a lot of credibility to the leaks, and when we look at this, it was to be expected to be towards this set. So we're looking at Savage Strike reprints for the first time being confirmed, and people are freaking out to this point. I point back to Ash Blossom, where it got shorted in its March set, and the secret rare first editions were still towards 55. I know Phantazmay was falling before this, and it also has a lower ceiling towards the Master Rule, but first edition secret panic selling at 42 seems a bit low to me for now, and I think we'll see this go back up a little bit before it shoots back down if it really is in the set, which from all these sources, it is seeming like it is going to appear there. So take it with a grain of salt, but it definitely is a lot harder to fake sealed packs. And also, people were noting the Alter Art Cyber Dragon Infinity seems to be on these packs, so this might be where we also get our Alter Arts we're seeing in the OCG right now. I want to show you guys how quickly a buyout can fall. We were looking at this at $40 yesterday. Robbie's Market Watch this morning towards 40. Oh wait, this is brand new in a core set. already 32. I see this being back towards 20 very, very quickly. I think this was a terrible choice for a buyout. For being such a new card, you're going to have to throw waves and gobs of cash at this to continue to try to keep its price up. And then you also have the Megaton somewhere on the horizon where this could appear as well. Depends on where Savage Strike ends up. They might just never be in a Megaton because it had so few cards to reprint. But definitely consider the following. Special editions, gonna bring more quantities, bring a price coolant. Everything with this card just screams like it was a really bad buyout. Always stick to the waifu investments, guys. And we see over on eBay the same kind of fallout as well. Now, talking about anime, the classics, Eye of Timaeus is surprising me. The secret rare is towards $25. I didn't know this was actually sticking so well for the Unlimiteds alongside the first editions. And the first editions are creeping up towards $30. But if you might have bought a structure deck a while back, you could have something in bulk you didn't know was worth anything. The commons are $5 to $6, so when you're picking bulk, be sure to take these out and also maybe just put these in your trade binders. You might have some cash that you didn't even know about, and I love bringing these cards up on Market Watch. The ultra rare is towards $10, so these are actually pretty close for the lowest rarity to the mid rarity. And speaking of Dragons of Legends of Past, Toon Kingdom is at one of its lowest price points. Again, I like to bring you guys this card when it does hit there. While it is towards 25 on TCG Player, which you can shop using my link in the description down below, supporting me directly for the cards you'd already be buying, it's even cheaper on eBay, where you can get near mint / mint copies for just $20 on the secret rare. So this is the lowest I've seen them in a very long time, and when you compare $20 to the rare on Market, well, just treat yourself to the secret rare original version that continually gets bought out and spikes to $30. This is definitely the time during this winter cool-off market that's starting to heat up to look at collectible cards and get yourself something nice you've been waiting for. Witch's Strike is getting a lot of hype. I still feel like this card is too slow, but for more of the control / stun mirror matches, I can see the value in at least citing this card in, like Altergeist Mirror. Oh, you used that Solemn Judgment, you got another one kind of mentality. It's definitely for the slower game, so I could see this actually appearing in metagame side decks, but I do think it's getting a little overhyped. It has an amazing effect, but I still feel like there's some form of overhyping right now towards this card / clamoring. Good card, but very slow. We can end up in slower places in the format, but Spiral's running around right now. Giant Hand! I didn't know this one was even towards $8. Last I looked, it was towards $4 to $5. Wow, it's gotten bought out here to the point of $11 to $12 over on TCG Player. Much cheaper on eBay right now, but if you have some affinity towards getting all the reprints of prize cards / having a collection of number cards, this has not had a reprint, and you might want to get this soon if you're looking at collecting every number card. The Konami drags their heels giving a reprint to prize cards typically, and they like to use that to sell a specific product for a long time. This is something to have if you're a number hunter, unfortunately. Wandering King Wildwind and Duelist Saga as a whole is something I like to stare at. I actually don't know if my next tab's Duelist Saga, so we'll click and be surprised together. But towards $7 to $8, people were telling me this has a purpose outside of the Synchro decks as well. I kind of forget what that is, so let me know in the comment section down below again. But I definitely think it has an affinity for the Synchro deck since its special summon effect makes you Synchro locked. Master Rule 5, 4.5, revised, hype, whatever you want to call it. Duel Saga is definitely something to pay attention to. And hey, I actually know my tabs. Sometimes they're so far open, I don't know what I'm clicking on. Look at how well everything has aged from this set. While I know a lot of people don't like how the foiling looks, I personally do. And I think there's collectibles that will rise over time, like this version of Dark Magician. I see it being $5 in the future, similar to how the shorted secrets in the movie pack for the secret rares out of the new one might end up. And look at this Blue Eyes towards over $6. I definitely like it when they give original arts a different rarity that won't ever be reprinted that way again as investment calls, and you could have bought this for $3 not too long ago in the grand scheme of collecting. So do pay attention to certain cards from here. I know Fossil Dyna is a card of choice for a lot of block BA combo players where you can even search it out. And of course, Deep Sea Diva, very, very affordable. You know this is going to get rehyped towards the release of the actual cards. And what is my last card? Oh, right, Dark Magician Girl actually did get bought out after yesterday's Market Watch. I do like to own up. That does come from me putting a ton of eyes on a card, but you guys can see that it has the mix of collectability, this original art, and it being the highest rarity version, and people typically don't immediately move from Market Watch whenever I shout out a card, so it's been a while since something like this has happened and stemmed directly from Market Watch, but I want to say I think y'all made a pretty good choice. This will fall back down from here a bit, but look at stuff that's not even in the metagame, like the Dragon Maids, which do have good support coming. Good support doesn't make it a great deck. We'll have to wait and see. But when it comes to collectibles and the market, they're going to rise a lot more with the new policy changes over time, and I think this is a really good one to hold on to, and there's a lot to look from for this movie pack, as it will disappear off of market over the next couple of months. Just something to consider when you are collecting. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Check out the Patreon. That $20 tier is very, very nice if you can afford it. I want to eventually mail a card to every single state in a single month. That would be pretty dang cool. But I do also ship the cards international, if you're wondering, and use that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying when it best benefits you. Otherwise, shop around, always check both, and take care of yourselves first and foremost.